Alright, so today's game is the first of games we've done in the Fire Emblem franchise. Nintendo's medieval fantasy tactical strategy epic franchise. It has been around for quite a long time. This particular entry we're going to play is Fuuin no Tsurugi. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It is the Binding Blade, Fire Emblem and the Binding Blade. It is the first game that was released on the GBA, and this particular version was released in 2002, and it's the technically sixth entry of the series. So this was the first entry after their run of SNES games. So originally the plan was to release a Nintendo DD, yeah, the Nintendo disk drive system, back when they had a plan to release their disk drive system, and the madness that thing was. And that game was called Fire Emblem and the Maiden of Darkness. That project was essentially scrapped when the 64DD died. Some games on the 64DD were brought to the standard console, but most of them were just scrapped entirely. This particular one was rebooted though as a handheld. It was basically scrapped entirely and then rebooted as a handheld title. There's not a lot of assets you can carry over from the Nintendo 64 to anything, just for understanding. Um, I should probably note here, 1997 through 2000 was a very awkward period for Fire Emblem. So, the fifth game in the series, Thracia 776, that game had an exceptionally long development time. The plan was to make that particular game fairly short and brief and have it quickly developed, and you repurpose assets from the previous two games for the Super Nintendo. Yeah, that didn't happen. That game didn't release for the SNES till 1999. So what had been kind of a small side project exploded into a full-size game and blew past any any realistic release window. You have to realize it's 1999. In 2000, like the Dreamcast comes out, and they're releasing games still on the SNES at this point. In fact, I believe the hardware release of this game didn't even come out until yeah, it didn't come out until 2000. Like this game actually they didn't release hardware this game on cartridge until 2000. It released on as on Nintendo's proprietary flash cart, which is a whole side story if you want to dig into. That's really cool for like looking back today is kind of revolutionary considering what we do with flashcards today. So by the time this game came out, it had been by the time Thracia 776 had come out, the N64 had been out for 3 years. Like this was way too late to be releasing a game, and we were 2 years out from the release of the GameCube. Like this game was Thracia 776 was absurdly behind schedule. Uh, for Japan, this probably wasn't that big a deal. The Super Nintendo was very popular. A lot of people had it. Like the release that late probably was not that big a deal. But from like an international perspective and kind of what you should be doing as a developer, that was bad. They shouldn't have done that. They should have really. They needed to cut the capabilities out here and just release that game much earlier. Um, so this particular game itself, a little more interesting. So it was considered to be basically a soft reboot. A lot of the SNES games, particularly the later ones in the Fire Emblem franchise, were a bit too difficult. Um, and this served as more of a soft reboot to lower that difficulty barrier and put the games into a kind of new world for them to build off of. So this game, it takes place in the same universe as the next game that released in the franchise, Fire Emblem: The Blazing Blade, which released a year later in 2003. That particular game is also known at stateside as just Fire Emblem, being the first title to come stateside with an actual English localization. This particular game was never released stateside. and we're going to be playing a fan translation that came out in the mid 2000s. Let me see if I actually put it in here in my notes. Oh, I did. So yeah, the fan translation came out in the mid 2000s. Nintendo never really had originally had any plans to release this game stateside. Their opinion, turn-based strategy games just wouldn't sell. But if you know your Game Boy Advance lore, you'll know one of the premier release titles for the Game Boy Advance was Advance Wars, a turn-based strategy game. Uh, Between that and the inclusion of Roy, who is the main character of this game, and Marth, the main character of the first Fire Emblem game, in Smash Bros., it kind of opened people's eyes up to like, hey, this franchise exists that Nintendo has not released any games for stateside. I'm trying to think, were there any other characters in Smash Bros. At the time that literally did not have a game released in the U.S.? And I think for the original Smash Bros. There weren't any; they were all released stateside. Um, I was thinking about yeah, yeah. But for Melee, I believe these were the only two characters that didn't have a game released stateside before Smash Bros. Came out, or Melee and Melee. Um, so with the increased popularity of of Advance Wars, the success of the Game Boy Advance, and the popularity of those characters in Super Smash Bros. Melee, um, Nintendo did eventually localize Fire Emblem the Blazing Blade and had intended to also localize the Binding Blade, this game. Um, but they did not. Nintendo's internal team was a little too busy with other products, and it eventually got abandoned. I'm curious if there was ever like any start on this localization, as the long rumored Mother 3 translation, which by the way was in the news recently that apparently Nintendo was sitting on, but that's that's not here or there. Um, so yeah, Nintendo kind of abandoned the project. Um, Here's my physical copy of the game. I've been meaning to do this for some of these games, but for some reason I haven't. But I actually own this game, a physical copy of the Japanese version of this game. So for people who want to know, I do own it. It's not particularly expensive, and the fan translation is readily available and pretty popular. So, if you have never played a Fire Emblem game, I generally of the opinion that Fire Emblem is one of the most simplified turn-based strategy games you will have ever played in your life. It is incredibly simple. It is. I'm not even sure you really need to understand Japanese to play this game. It will help you with the story because Fire Emblem does have a pretty complex story. But in terms of gameplay, yeah, you were gonna figure it out pretty quick. Um, so as with a lot of turn-based strategy games, this one you have your turn and the enemies have their turn. So everyone moves, they have a signal attack or action that they take. There's very little complexity in the system. Complexity really was not added. Like even the GameCube and Wii games, there was not a lot of complexity. They added an ability system in the GameCube games, but it's like so simplistic it didn't really matter. It's not until you get into like the DS titles you start seeing more complex ability, strategy, and such. At this stage of the game, it's more about positioning of where your characters are and taking positions on the map that are vital and funneling all your enemies into inopportune combats for them. Um, the game features a weapons triangle system. That's one of its two main coup de grace, where axes beat spears, which beat swords, which beat axes. So you use the right weapon at the right time to beat your opponent, and it has a permadeath system. I will be honest, Fire Emblem's kind of walked away from this permadeath system as the years go, and is more toned that towards the game's difficulty, what difficulty you select. But every Fire Emblem game up until I have to think about this. I guess it would have been Birthright. Yeah, up until Birthright on the 3DS, all of them have permadeath. If your character dies in combat, they're gone for the remainder of the game. Um, Other unique things that were borrowed from that this game has a support conversation system. Basically, kind of just like two characters stand beside each other for a bunch of the time, and they get increased stats, and they get support conversations that delve into the characters themselves and their relationships with one another. it was a unique feature for this particular game, especially like in the early days of turn-based strategy games, but it has been stolen by nearly every other turn-based strategy game at this point, and it's not really that special. Same thing with the Clash promotional system. You reach level, like even all the games, they're all the same. You get to level 20, and then you reach level cap, and now you have to promote to restart your level system. So the game has a Clash promotional system that's you advance Clash, you get a bunch of free stats, and you start your leveling up again with all the stats you had before. Um, Lastly, to note, the GBA Fire Emblem community they have a significant ROM hacking community. If you've looked through the MOG list that I have, there's about 20 different Fire Emblem games on there, and I'd say about half of them are GBA ROM hacks. The GBA community in particular has a lot of ROM hacks, and every game on it has a lot of ROM hacks. Even this version has 2 ROM hacks to it on that list. So if you enjoy this style of game, you should check out some of those ROM hacks because a lot of them are incredibly impressive. All right. Ooh, that was a lot to go through. Fire Emblem's a pretty storied franchise, and it's when you start talking about a lot of the modern ones, so the ones that come after this, out for the DS, you start getting into a lot of the history of what this franchise has really brought to the table. Because it was during the DS era that this franchise almost died, and they were going to do some wild things with that game before it kind of exploded, and Nintendo realized that, oh my god, people love these Weeb games that we release. Why didn't we release them 10 years ago? And I just shake my head. I'm like, I wonder, you guys don't know anything. No, Nintendo exists kind of within its own shell. They're gonna do their own thing, but yeah, Nintendo really didn't understand a lot of their fan base and missed a lot of opportunities with the particularly, I would say, the Fire Emblem. There's not a lot of other games that fit that niche, but Fire Emblem's like the most obvious. A lot of the Operation Rainfall games, so like Xenoblade Chronicles, that's another great example of Xenoblade Chronicles. Like it's easy to say that without what Fire Emblem became, we would not have Xenoblade Chronicles today. I don't think that game would have existed. Anyway, I'm moving on to the actual game itself. Go ahead and get this booted up here and transition over to the game. Let's go. I did notice a bug when I was kind of just testing this. I'm hoping that there's not too many bugs on this patch, but I did notice one minor, like, text bug. Um, in terms of story, I believe I said this before, this is the prequel to the Blazing Blade. So I haven't played this game, but I have completed the Blazing Blade. Um, the end of that game is brutally hard, by the way. And I was just playing on normal. Like that game gets very, very difficult by the time you get to the end of it. But it was definitely harder than a lot of the other Fire Emblems I've beat. But this game is supposed to be one of the easier ones, was my understanding. We'll see how it goes. As you can see, this is all translated into English. You also notice that the intro is like the exact same as the Blazing Blade, which is kind of wild to me that they just like took that much. But I guess if they released the game a year later, it makes sense that they just reused a lot of assets. I do find it interesting that they went straight from the SNES to the GBA. I'm curious, like, what compelled them to not release like an actual console Fire Emblem game and go straight to this. I understand like the DD was kind of like tanked and crashed out, but it's kind of the same story with Metroid. Like, why didn't we get a console Metroid game for all of those years? A lot of it, I think, just came down to the fact that people don't want to develop on the N64. N64 is a pain. Oh, there's no prologue story. So one of the unique things about the Blazing Blade is you have the prologue story, like 10 chapters where Lyn is the main character. I don't believe any of Lyn was like uniquely new to the Blazing Blade, so she shouldn't be in this game. So the main character of this is Roy. If you've played the Blazing Blade, Ellawood is his father. I think the female lead, I believe Hector, is her father. Really hard to read. Let me see if I can make that more readable. That didn't help at all. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. It's just the nature of GBA. Like, I just find that very hard to read. I can read the actual game text well, but the actual text on my screen is hard to read. It's actually easier to read on OBS than it is on screen. So if you don't, if it's not obvious by just looking at the map, the Fire Emblem is very medieval themed, very like Eurocentric medieval themed. Unlike a lot of other, you would expect with Japan, it would be kind of more the Japan equivalent of medieval. A lot of the what was that era? The Shogunate era, not the Shogunate era. Shoot. I can't. The Sengoku era. Like Sengoku era Japan. A lot of clans fighting for power over a small area, over territory. But this is far more like Eurocentric. And you know that shows up in a lot of like how the combat is. You don't have samurais. You have knights and archers and things along those lines. So there's actually already graphical glitch. That apostrophe over the country's name. Yeah, that's not the first time I've seen a graphical glitch. I wonder if it's just a weird text glitch. Hopefully there's not too much of those. Is that gonna happen with every apostrophe? It's actually wild. This is a lot of text just to open a game, rather than actually getting into the game. You know, I wonder if that apostrophe is correct, because I'm looking at that comma. Maybe that's just how it's supposed to look. It's actually kind of crazy to me. This is what happens when you increase sharpness up the max of the 32-bit era system. Oh Jesus, music. It's really good sprite work in the background. I'm surprised I like never really noticed that with Fire Emblem, but that's like pretty good sprite work for a background. Well, I shouldn't say sprite work, just background work, period. No! Merlinus? It's not exactly the best translation I've ever heard. I can't imagine that's an actual character's name. Kind of seems silly. Bastards! What a word. Just run right through the enemies. Bandits. It's always bandits in the open chapters of the turn-based strategy games we have to deal with. Also a pretty significant party you start off with. Normally in Fire Emblem games, you actually start off with like maybe 3 characters. It looks like we start out with like 6. Yeah, there's like quite a few characters to start with. I do want to XP fast. The rest should be fine. Okay, should be fine. So these should all be level 1 brands. Can I set the... Oh, you can't do the lock thing. So there's only 2 buttons here. No, you cannot. Cycle suit. My character is at... Executes a character. Select brings up that menu. Start brings up this map. Okay. Huh. I was hoping to be able to... Okay, so I know the way these games work. You always get this one, like, advanced class character who's very early. But if you start going through their stats are, like, only moderately better. Well, to start with, they'll be moderately better. But when you get into, like, the end game, these characters' stats are garbage. And you generally just don't ever want to use them. Can I block that out? Yeah, okay. Another good strategy in Fire Emblem games is always to move your archers first. And then you can petition to protect them afterwards, like this. So, oh, they do have rescue in this mode. I hope there's an easy way to exchange items, because that was one of the issues with the previous, with the other GB, with Blazing Blade, was there's not a good way to manipulate items. Ow. There was only a 44% chance of that hitting. Watch me lose a character immediately in this game. That'll taunt me. Oh, you would have attacked twice. I should have gone with you. Can't even getting range to attack anymore. It's disheartening, to say the least. But generally at this level of strategy that you're going to want to hit for a Fire Emblem game, especially like at this level, you want to just position your characters so that way you're kind of walling out territory and you're blocking. Miss. And you get EXP for like every combat, like even if you don't do damage, but you like get very little if you don't do damage. I think you only get 1 EXP if you don't do any damage. Alright, let's see if you can actually take him out. I guess I'll stand there first. You cannot. I'd like to kill that archer before he does mean things to me. I don't think I can. So I think we'll just go like this. Yeah, we go up here. Hopefully you take him out. And then if I position him up here. And then we can have the archer come in and clean it up. So generally the small houses, you actually don't get anything for going to. At least that's how it was in the previous game. But the main actual town centers, like this one here, actually kind of relevant. You also want to always make sure your Lord gets infinite EXP. Because your Lord is generally, when you beat the game, the best character. Just like, no cap. He is... Your Lord is the best character you can get in the game. And to be honest, that's generally true with like nearly every turn-based strategy game. Unfortunate, you're one point off there. And then gates close the town. And then the unique thing about cavalry is they can move after performing a non-attack action. That's changed in later games, so after you attack, you can move, which is incredibly useful for like guerrilla style combat when you start getting to the point where that's really relevant. That only has a 50% hit rate. Ugh. Assuming you actually cannot defeat him, and you'll just take 6 damage back. He can actually move down there. So if I try to, I have to attack him here. Or get this hit in. It's worth it to do this just to get this hit in, though. Actually, I hit and he missed. Cool. Cool beans. I always love that animation when they go back to their neutral. These little side hopping steps on the cavalry. I always thought it was really cool. Also, his rapier only has like 25 uses, which is kind of annoying. Crit! Oh, I want to show you guys crit animations. It's the coolest part about Fire Emblem. Or at least this generation of Fire Emblems. Like, they put a lot of work into these character animations, and I just like rewarding for it, because some of them are super cool. Like, Swordmaster, for example, is really cool. So why are these bandits? I didn't realize these bandits have different, are they actual bandits? Fighter. So are you not a fighter? You're actually a brigand. Different class. I had forgotten brigand and fighter. Yeah, fighter is a class that of character you can actually get. Sorry, I'm just reviewing the map. Dude, the fact this character does not do enough damage to two-shot things is incredibly annoying. So there also is a unique strategy you'll find with cavalry. I'll go ahead and kind of demonstrate the rescue strat. So if I do a rescue here, so if I was to pick up this unit, then I still, because I'm a cavalry, I can still continue my turn. So I can move again and use the rest of my movement to move wherever I want, picking up this character. And then you can have a character stand beside the cavalry unit after you stop their move to have them pick up and drop the character off. This is relevant for usually just boss fights, because bosses don't move. So you could send the unit in to attack, and so they don't get counter-attacked on the enemy turn, you just pick them up and run away. All the cool things you're going to learn about Fire Emblem today, guys. You're going to learn all the cool strat. Also, armored units are both broken and useless at this point in the game. They're broken because nothing will ever kill them. Until you start getting, like, magic and armor-slaying weapons, like, nothing kills them. Oh, wow, you actually can move all the way and attack him. That's cool. I don't think I want you doing this, though. I think I'd rather have you do this, actually. As long as you don't kill him. You do kill him. Never mind. I'd rather you not stand in the forest, so let's stand there. Like, I don't mind them running down to fight him, because they're not going to hit him, odds are, and he's going to counterattack. The fact that everything does 10 damage and everyone has 20 health, or 9 damage and everyone has 20 health, is not annoying at all. You actually can run up and kill him. So it's when things like that start happening, I start getting angry at this game. Because I'm trying to plan out turns, and the game's just like, plan. Ha! Silly you. Like, when you're, like, 85, 90% hit rate moves, just as, like, no, I don't want to hit here. I'd use a vulnerability on him, but I'll just, like, keep him out of harm's way for the rest of the battle. Wow, that is a level up. I don't even remember that in the previous game, it being like that. I remember it being, like, this bright green text. Kind of just odd that of all the things that changed, that seemed to be one of the things they changed. I guess I keep saying change, but this was the first game. It's one off again. This game's miserable, man. Who made this game? I don't think I actually want. Oh, now they can attack him. That's fine. Actually, I'm pretty sure moving here doesn't do anything, because the town is already destroyed. I'm smart. Oh, I can actually just, like, walk over this? Is this added defense? No, it's not added defense. So if I put anything here, it's gonna get slacked. It's just gonna get worked on. I'm actually just gonna put you there. I think that's a relatively safe spot. Only 2 people hit you. Yeah. And as long as he doesn't get hit by both of these, it's fine. Like, I don't actually want this dude involved in combat, because he just takes away XP. Hey, a crit! Bam! Crits are so cool in this game. You also notice the game has a weapon durability system. All of your weapons have a level durability, and once it hits 0, that weapon breaks. That goes for everything in the game. Every weapon in the game has a durability rating. Everything you use breaks. The game would like me to know I am getting close to the finish here. Can't hit that. Can you follow up? No. So nothing can hit him. I just want to make sure this dude can't actually hit my archer. I don't care if the archer can hit my archer. That actually does not matter. No, it can be back. Okay, the only way this goes south is if that axe hits him. Which it could. It did not. Does feel a little weird, like, not having any healer at all at this point in the game. I normally like having healers. They're normally pretty useful. We might actually need to use that strategy I described earlier pretty early in this game. What a terrible roll. What weapons does he have? Oh, wrong button. That's the button. Okay, he has Steel Axe. That's fine. Okay, so we actually can do the strat here. So I might demonstrate it here if I get hit. If I don't get hit, it doesn't matter. But if I do get hit, it kind of does. So lords have kind of awesome growth. It's kind of one of the major points of having a lord is it. Their growths are really good. Alright, so I can actually demonstrate the strat here. So I pick him up, and I can move again. So I can move out of range of his attacks. Or also, notably, I can move here. This character can take Roy, and then drop him off here. Therefore, keeping him out of range of any attack, while still allowing him to attack. And then I can heal him this turn with a healer, and then proceed to attack again next turn. That's a very common strategy in these GBA Fire Emblem games that you are going to witness me use infinite number of times. Nah, we don't need to risk it. We don't need to risk it for the biscuit there. But I didn't need to do it there, but I just kind of wanted to demonstrate how it works. Boo. If you haven't noticed, I only get 1 AXP when I miss. Yeah, I don't want to attack with a character that could die, and I don't want to waste a vulnerability on, like, the very first level of this game. You're not even going to hit him. Yeah, why not? Yeah, facing a steel axis early in the game's a lot. You'll also notice that there's a stat called Aid and Con. You need to have a certain level of aid in order to pick up another character, as I just did. Really looking for a crit here, man. I don't want to waste more rapier attacks. Yeah, because all my characters like don't have a lot of health anymore, except Marcus. So he's just going to continue to attack Roy because Roy's in range. He might eventually hit, but I just want Roy to crit. Please crit. Why are you wasting my time not critting? Alright, he'll die on the next attack. I wasted like 13 attacks with Rapier this stage. It's worth it. Get Roy to level 20 ASAP. Oh, that's right. You have to stand there. Do I have to do it with Roy? Yeah, I do have to do it with Roy, don't I? Seize the gate. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Roy has to be the one to do that. So Lycia is it's not explained very well, but Lycia is essentially a confederation of states. It's kind of a loose governing body of states that need to be brought together in times of war. If you know your American history, you know how the Confederation of America went. It went very poorly. And the theory of this particular game is that, hey, it's better when we all are kind of have a mutual understanding and agree with one another. This was never really true. You could argue that confederations existed in medieval Europe at various points in time, but they were usually all still under some particular authority figure, be it a monarchy or in some cases like the Pope. Another unique thing to Fire Emblem, this isn't true until the next game in the series, the Blazing Blade. I have a sneeze coming, 1 second. It's coming. I can smell it. Okay, I'm gonna keep talking, and it's gonna come in the middle while I'm talking. The next game in the series also introduces the player character as like an actual character in the game, rather than a main character figure the way Roy is in this game. So there eventually comes to be like a nameless protagonist that you, the character, play as is a tactician, and that becomes a running theme throughout the games where that character gets more. There's more like involvement as the player in the game. It's like just voiceless protag. The Princess of Bern. And generally, the storyline of most of Fire Emblem games are all similar. Some particular country has a new leader or emperor that is leading an invasion against another country, and you kind of get stuck in the middle of it, either being the country that's being invaded or just some middling party that's just there when it happens and gets involved in the defense. And you find out that there's some evil figure pulling all of the strings of everyone involved and have to defeat them. And they all pretty much follow that story. There's a few exceptions of, notably Three Houses. Three Houses is a little whack. Three Houses is one of the most depressing stories I've ever read. Look at the caravan. Healer, yay! Well, we weren't going to get involved, but we can get involved now. Alright, so we have a town here. Armories you can buy weapons in. Vendor, you kind of just buy supplies. Fortifications offer healing. Ooh, that's a lot of enemies this early in the game. I'm gonna have to beat a knight without an armor slaying weapon. A little unfortunate. I also don't have an axe wielder to deal with these. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if you could use axes. Yes, you can use axes, but we don't have an axe to speak of. Oh, there was grayed out because there's no weapon. There's no items there. Also, this formation is awkward putting the archer at the bottom. I don't approve of that. How do we handle this? Well, you almost kill him. Do you kill the other one? More important question. Yeah, formation is always important in the GBA ones. You need to make sure that you position everyone so you're not leaving a particularly weak member open to getting slapped in the face. Probably should have him go up here as it first. Did I just get an armor slayer? Nice. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and take that. You can't actually go down there, so I'll probably just give the armor slayer to you. Well, either it goes to you or at night. We'll just give it to you because you don't have any weapons here. But that'll take a full turn to actually do that, which is the unfortunate part of it. I think we just want to defeat him. Man, using the javelin's a little frustrating too. It's such an important item. Let's have you whack him. No, let's have you whack him first. Also, I don't think I said it earlier. This is a pretty long game. It's probably going to be between 20 and 30 hours of gameplay to get through. Just so you're all tracking of how long this game is. I believe that it's like 25 to 30 chapters that you have to play through. Anyone get hit? Oh, I can't heal. Unfortunate. It's unfortunate because there's not a lot of good ways to level up your healers in this game. Ooh man, I gotta get defense position quick. That's another thing in this game that you quickly learn. Just, you want to establish defensive positions around good spots. It's just how you play this particular game. Narrow pathways to slowly whittle down troops. Angles where you can have multiple ranged attackers peck away at opponents before they're anywhere close to in range. So, with this positioning, you want to take these fortresses ASAP. You get additional stat bonuses on fortresses. Oh, really defensive bonus. So he has Iron Blade and Iron Sword. There. So, like, if I take these positions, then I can only get attacked from, like, 3 spots. Which is pretty good. And actually, like, not killing him is almost as good as actually killing him, because it means he has to attack again, and that can leave open. It usually doesn't, but it can leave open the spot to, like, not actually doing anything. You have a hand axe? Oh, he does. The one thing I do have to watch out for is archer here. So I can, like, send her over here to attack. The only question is, like, would I get hit by... How much damage do I take when I fight you? The biggest advantage is I'm sitting on a mountaintop, so I don't get hit for that much damage. Or, it's rare I get hit, but it just takes, like, 2 hits, and you're like, oh, this was a bad idea, and I shouldn't have done this. Crit! So we want to kill this guy, and then have someone stationed here by the end of the turn. Kind of inefficient to have to attack there, but we'll take it. Oh, I could have healed you. It's okay, we'll have you attack here and heal you now, after you take another 6 damage, inevitably. See? Worked out! Strategy, guys. It's my middle name. The pose is just really weird to me. He's got his tip too low. Like, it's in fencing that you're supposed to, like, keep your tip up, not, like, pointed downward. No, I'm not a fencer. How much does it heal for? I think we want to put a sword here rather than a spear. The enemies also will do weird things when you start blocking paths. Yay, that missed. That made me happy. Yeah, so one of, like, the advantages... It's interesting they just kind of, like, introduce some of these classes and, like, basically tell you nothing about them. By the way, that dude had a 20% chance of hitting me, and I had a 70% chance of hitting him, and I got hit, and I missed. Just this game. Just what this game does. Dude had a hand axe. So what I would, like, normally want to do in these situations is actually get here and kill this dude. But there's, like, if I don't actually kill him, which I won't, I get counterattacked for too much damage. So, you know, I need to get my flyer, like, out of that position. Crit! Crit animations are just the best. Look like 3 steps. You need to. One of the other things with healers is that you need to heal every opportunity possible because you have limited opportunities to get them XP. Because you get them EXP like 10 points at a time for each heal. So like if you're going to use them, you need to use them all of the time in every chance possible. That's why I'm kind of a little miffed I don't have a lot of like items to work with right now. Oh, I got a crit. I love that animation. So that unit, I believe that unit is, they're not swords masters. Mercenaries. So mercenaries become heroes, and heroes have just like some of those baller animations. I love hero animations. They're so much fun. Yeah, you need to actually like get back to like here. And just look for someone to pounce on. That's generally what you do with this class. The only downside is sometimes these guys can actually climb up mountains. I think that's just mountains and not. So they could climb up the mountain, but not the peak. So there's two ways to end the turn. You can go to end, or you can just select all your characters and wait. I believe brigands in their advanced class have become barbarians. Barbarians are kind of cracked. Oh, another crit? Dang. Dude, the animation's so baller. I love it. Unfortunately, Merc is kind of like a bland class. They're not particularly good at anything, but heroes like do everything pretty well. And this is why we had the hand axe, in case this happened. Surprised he went for that attack. Normally they don't. My assumption is that this game's AI is similar to what is in the Blazing Blade, in which case it's kind of obnoxiously good at things. They tend to find obvious weak points in your defenses and exploit them maliciously. Give it another crit, why not? Bonk. We'll just give it the good old bonk. But you're starting to see like how good defensive positions can be in this game. Where you take minimal damage and you just kind of run over everything in front of you. You just have to be careful about when you break out. Like, breaking out now would probably be pretty risky. Weird things can happen when you try to, like, break out at the wrong time. And it's better just to, like, get your reinforcements in order. Dude has no movement. Yeah, armor units have no movement. But they generally make the best frontliners in the game, so it evens out. Did I miss? Oh, you. Another dude with a javelin. That's always something you have to watch out for, is characters with okay, all three of them had javelins. That's just not right. Also, what happened to enemies dropping stuff? I haven't had an enemy drop something for me yet. Yeah, it feels really weird coming from the Blazing Blade, and, like, there's literally no tutorial for this game on any of the classes or anything. Where, like, you're so easy guided in the, like, Lynn's story in the base game, or in the next game of the franchise. You're very handheld in that story. It's helpful because it helps you to understand what the role of each character really is. At the same time, it's a little off-putting to go from there to here. I think I can just break out of this. That's crazy he actually gets 2 attacks. Getting axe wielders multiple attacks is very rare. Because they're generally like one of the slowest classes in the game. Weird, I actually take less damage with the spear. Usually damage doesn't change. It's usually just like your accuracy changes. I'd rather not mute you so you could heal, and I don't think you going up against him actually makes a lot of sense. You're just gonna get hit for 5, and then I have to deal with all the rest of these guys. Yeah, we don't want to move to that. We don't want to move to this position. You probably could go to this position. Yeah, that'll work. Another oddity about, particularly like this Fire Emblem, is like the noble. Can I not check your range? That's weird. That's normally something you can check. He attacks twice on a soldier, but he doesn't attack twice on a regular dude. Again, just some weird oddities in this game. I know, it's silly to heal for 1 HP. You actually should be doing that. Just to get XP on your healers. It is just so hard to get XP on your healers in this game. Who was loaded to the teeth, by the way? I probably want to heal him, actually. I don't think he can get slaughtered here, though. The archer can't hit him, he's not going to take that much damage. But I will cover him, actually. Wow, let's do the attack. Interesting. Actually, can I get a combo here? Yeah, I can get a combo. So just so you know, that didn't do anything. I should block this off, so I can have you attack those particles. I wonder if Trinity attack is in this game. So that's a unique thing. If you have triple Pegasus Knights and you have them all aligned against a single opponent, they do an auto crit called Trinity attack, where all three of them attack the same target at the same time. It's an auto crit, 3 times damage. Oh, and if you're curious, a crit is 3 times damage. It does 3 times damage every time. Oh, one more step. You know, one of the problems with Brigands is they don't make particularly good front lines because they have high HP, but they have low accuracy and low defense. So, like, they tend to, like, just randomly miss attacks and then get blown up on the counterattack. So I don't use them too... I've never really used them too often in, like, previous games. They're just so risky to use. That said, if you can evolve one into a Barbarian, they're pretty good. Barbarians are pretty good. Barbarians just do obnoxious things. But as you're probably about to find out, having them here is going to be quite useful. After I murk this homeboy. Yeah, one of them had a hammer, and I'm like, oh, wow. I guess this fight's free. Yeah, which one had the hammer? Was it you? Yeah, no, it's been you. But you also have a steel axe, and steel axe is about as good. Oh, he has a javelin. That's rude. Can't stand there, then. Yeah, like I said, I don't actually want to use Marcus because he is not a good character. Oh, you don't kill and you only have a 40... How do you, like, miss a dude with that much armor? We can probably do a save on him, though. And maybe get a second guy in on the attack. Can you rescue? Okay, we're good. Actually, I don't think it pops up like that. Let me double check that. Okay. 16, 13. Alright. So we'll give it a shot. That is the Iron Axe, which has some chance of hitting, but doesn't really matter. This is what's relevant. We try to get this attack to hit. Nope, we missed. And got hit on the counterattack. That's a rip. Yeah, you're not going to do anything in this fight. Oh, but you can't pick him up. Darn. So he has the Armor Slayer. Also, Rapier is generally considered good against these guys, but Armor Slayer is kind of where it's at. Only problem is, again, do not want to get hit twice. It's what we're trying to avoid happening. You shouldn't do any damage at all. Let's do the Steel Axe. We're probably just gonna run out with Armor Slayer, and we can pull back Roy if that gets ugly. Basically, if Roy gets hit here, we have to pull him back. Oh, we didn't. Alright, we can just let Roy get the kill then. Potentially. Ow. Got him. And the convenient thing is, it is now my turn. So I can just step there and take it. I think I will do, though. I just realized I actually butchered that. It was not how I was supposed to do that, because now he's actually has the vulnerabilities on his item list, rather than in his inventory. Which is what we really wanted. We definitely want to make sure all of these guys have. I'd already forgotten he already had one. There's a woman locked in the cellar! Alright, I think we'll do one more mission and might call it a night with that. Hector! Throw the dead man in the dungeon. So that Dark Priestess, that's where the Maiden of Darkness thing came from, and what they kind of took from the original storyline that they had planned for the Nintendo 64 DD game was this character of the Dark Priestess, the Maiden of Darkness. It's also oddly another theme in a lot of these JRPGs that are like very European based, is this idea of like a witch that's controlling things from behind, getting into the ear of some leader, which in all fairness is not just a thing with JRPGs. It's kind of a thing with like medieval stories as well. A mysterious witch that's causing evil things. It's just a random character that appears. So we have a little town on the prairie up here. We have this room where we need to get through a door, which is why we have our thief, because thieves open doors. And chest. We got another town over here. Alright, so we're gonna have to send somebody up here to take on these homies. Hopefully not two guys. I'm hesitant to send the Falcon Knight over there. I could probably send her over here. I think I'll send Marcus and another one of my Night Bros up there. Also, items are already starting to be a little bit on the scarce side, in my opinion. Oh, that was too far. Can I actually, like, go back to title? I'm not joking. I wasn't joking. Oh, so what extras do I have? The Link Arena. Oh, there actually is a tutorial? I guess this is the opening of the story, it looks like. Oh, the tutorial is actually, okay. I didn't realize this game actually had a tutorial because it hides it in the menus. In, the previous game, the tutorial actually is like part of the main story. Alright. Wait. Okay, and we can out-skip all this. I'm actually like kind of surprised that worked, that I could skip all that. I've played many a game where I could not do that. Ooh, why are these dudes all armed with javelins? It's just not right. Heal you up if you need to. This should be in range for me to heal. These are actually, like, not a terrible class. They're not good. Don't get me wrong. They're not good. But they're not actually that bad. I don't mind using them to do things. I guess I should say. Oh, you can actually get that kill. Go for it. I'll probably send him over to the right side to get these items. He's in range getting attacked there. That guy anyway. I wish I could have, like, customized the formation that we started with, and I could have better positioned my entire roster. Because this is not particularly good positioning. Especially when, like, I'm not in range of hitting anything from the start. It's a little obnoxious. Yeah, we gotta kill this guy. I think you'll be fine. He's a Chad, what can I say? Is lockpick an actual item? Oh, lockpick is an item. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, well, that's actually a little bit frustrating that lockpick is an item in this game. I can't block out getting attacked there. I wanted to go heal him, but the archer can actually hit me. Unless I, like, rescue Roy. Which I don't want to do. Not at this point in the game. Yeah, Cavaliers and their secondary form, Paladins, are kind of they do a little bit of everything, guys. Yeah, I was a little worried this would be a lot of damage, but you dodged it. I hope I don't have to restart this and move Chad over there. That would be incredibly annoying if I actually had to take Chad there. Okay, it was impossible to get there in time to stop that event from happening. We can take these hits. Alright, I'm a little better positioned to protect him if I do go for an attack here. I do have to kill that guy now, though. Can you move there? Yes. Alright, this helps out. weird animation for them. Like, I'm just gonna jump up and throw my body in this axis and pound your face in. Okay. Actually, you go there and heal. Because we're gonna clog up some of the spots. He needs an iron sword. Like nothing else right now. I want you to run all the way up here and hit him with the... I'm being stupid. I don't mind like getting multi-attacked by these guys. It's highly unlikely that they're all going to kill me. Like I take 6, I take 6. 6, 6, 3. It's probably like 6, 6, 4. Yeah, it's highly unlikely I can go down to that. But like I don't want to waste a javelin here. Especially since those guys all have javelin. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't have a javelin. Let's go ahead and use a javelin so that way at least if the archer comes at me, I have something to hit him with. So you'll notice they went after the stronger character because the stronger character cannot counterattack. That's another thing the AI is very good at doing. Which is why I was surprised when that one dude attacked me when I had a hand axe equipped. Because they normally attack things that can't counterattack. That's normally one of their first things they'll run at. Ooh. That's a good staffy staff. So I get the feeling, like, the way those kiddos ran off, that... Oh, wow, that missed. That's unfortunate. I'll just made this take way longer than it needs to. When I go to this town, that'll actually trigger a side map. Another common thing in this game. A little, like, side story. There's more places for me to bring weapons. I prefer to have my axe users and spear. Spear help me to lead the path. Also, the feature that showed you all of your enemies' range, that doesn't come around until much later in this franchise. I don't even think that so you can't, that doesn't come into like Path of Radiance as I recall, but it's worth mentioning that at that point, you also just like don't turn all of them on. You have to mark each individual character. We have to kick a dog there. We need to make sure we know that he's evil. We're gonna kill all the women and children too. Cavaliers. Pink. So one of the cool things I do love about that armor animation, the armor character animation, their chest plate doubles as a shield. So like if you watch their movement, they'll actually pick it up and use it as a they'll like push it and use it as a shield. This is a cool little animation idea. Fire Emblem, like this, like low level of like sprite-based animation. They do a lot of these like little things. Really cool. Okay, dude just shows up and we're good. Cool. The one problem is he needs a kill if he's going to get involved in this. So if we don't kill things, that's not a good thing. Because he will absolutely get blasted on counterattacks. It's not until you get into later levels that mages are like actually kind of nutty. Yeah, I could get hit twice here and lose him, and I'm not in a position to recover him. I don't mind him going in, but he can't attack. So don't be surprised if the enemy actually goes after him, but I can't like actually use him to attack. Another trick you'll learn is backliners attack first. Helps you get through everything much faster. Dude, I need another sword. Sure. These dudes all have javelins. Javelin has like never been a very common weapon in this game. Whew, man, I'm getting tired. See, like he doesn't have a javelin. Like none of these three have javelins. Just, whatever. Also, that's not infinite respawn point. They just respawn every turn for like X number of turns. Like you see this in some of the later levels where enemies just spawn off the map like for 5-6 turns straight, and you just kind of have to like defend your position until you can actually like defeat all of them. Wow, he went for him. Interesting. be honest, I did not actually expect that. Also, it should be around this time. I believe it was after Thracia 776. The team that made a lot of the Fire Emblem games, I believe, broke up somewhere around there. Somewhere around Thracia 776. Either like immediately before or immediately after. And a lot of the developers went on to make a game called T-Ring Saga, which very Fire Emblem-like game for the PlayStation. Kind of mediocre success. I don't think that game was ever officially translated. There are fan translations, I think, for the two games. One's a PS1 game, and I think the other's a PS2 game. But like the idea and theming is pretty much identical. I think after this map we're going to get off of it. I need to unfortunately make Tuesdays fairly short nights most of the time. Crit! A lot of crits early today. Crits are normally fairly rare. I should check and see what those Cavaliers have equipped. It's pretty standard for them not to have swords. As I say, one of them has a sword and the other has a javelin. Okay, they all have either a sword or a javelin. Exactly what I was expecting. Should make you generally pretty good against them, but you're not going to do any damage apparently, so it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna be honest, he's one of the weaker archers I've seen in a Fire Emblem game. He's actually kind of bad. I think I'm gonna heal first. The level up, it gets me every time. I'm almost certain that the normal Fire Emblem, it's a green text and not a obscene, like, sprite. Because that's clearly, like, a sprite. Not, like, overlining text. I don't lose you for this attack. Pair of attacks, I should say. Probably in trouble if that didn't kill. that's too much damage. Okay, so that space is going to be occupied because I'm not going to crit here. Ow. Sound the retreat. Oh, no, 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 no. We're in danger. Okay, we're good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I don't have to suspend. I don't have to restart the game. So another thing about these games. So the game auto-save states, like, after every input you gave. So, like, I could go to suspend. And then if I try to boot up the game, so if I restart the game and boot it up, the state of that attack is still saved, even though I haven't seen it yet. It does not change. The RMG is, like, it's not that it's predetermined, it's that that determination has already been made. When I say predetermined, I mean, like, if I run the game again, it's not going to run a different roll. The roll has already been made. I guess you should retreat, Amundo, right there, oh. We can heal you there. Fortunately, we like only heal for like 10 at a time. The level up just threw me off. This is so weird looking to me. Having played so many Fire Emblem games, this dude's attack strength stat is so bad. This is like one of the worst archers I've ever seen. Just like in terms of being useful. Ooh, okay, that'll kill. Crit! Rapier is a very good weapon. Like, throughout the entire duration of the game, Rapier is a very good weapon. Can you move there? Okay, yeah, I'd rather you move here. Pink. You need healing, though. It's not exactly moving yet. There's another cavalry guy there. No, there's not. Okay, that's fine. It's kind of annoying that I have to do all this roundabout just to get to these items, and then have to go back over. Well, the door is already, the gate is already open, so I can't just fight whenever. Is the objective seize or defeat him? Seize throne. Okay, so I have to get Rory to the throne. Oh, I didn't actually want you standing there. Oopsie doodles. Yeah, I had a second guess moving him there, but I think since the axe wielder was only going to hit once anyway, I think it was fine. Oh, he has a hand axe too. That could have gone south very badly if that spear had hit. One thing I do have to be careful of is if more enemies respawn. Oh, I wasn't ready to turn. I should have done a check on that. Oh well. Yeah, you're just not in range yet. Sure, this will do no damage, but no, I don't get anything for that. We're not going to do that. But I do want to make sure I heal you. So that way I can waste 2 turns opening up chest again. Oh, this dude has a javelin. That's right. I don't want to run you there. Oh. I'm only doing that so I get the one additional move space there. Silly, yes. Useful, maybe. But I need to waste 2 more turns to open up those 2 chests. Oh, I got other things to do that turn. The main thing I need to watch out for is if there's going to be more enemies that spawn. Yeah, more enemies spawning would probably be kind of a disaster, actually. How much damage I'd take. That Musset's going to do damage to this guy. I wish I could do some inventory management between stages, but I'm not sure at what point in time that occurs in the game. Like, someone is sitting on a mend rod. It's you. Actually, I can just give it to her now. I think we just move up and don't attack. Ow. And then by doing that, we can rescue. Wait, get you out here. Take. Drop. And then we start seeing who else can fill in that little bit of extra damage we need here. %, hit rate, that's not good enough here. Now, 50% is okay. The problem's going to be if I have to rescue him. This shouldn't do any damage. Yeah, this is one of the problems with the early game, is that your stats are too low often to do damage with low weapons or incorrect weapons. So you spend a lot of time doing this. And just kind of like waiting till you can actually hit him, kill him. And also like not having a mage in adequate positioning right now. A little bit of a pain. Can you talk? I do think just throwing this Iron Axe attack makes sense. A hammer really doesn't. It's gonna miss. But I think this actually does make sense. Or we just nail a crit. That's cool too. So crits are also guaranteed hits. So the game does a crit roll, and if you get a crit, you automatically hit. So you could theoretically have a higher crit rate than a hit rate, and more likely to actually just kill the homie. That was actually baller. Just run up and whack him in the head. And we're done here, guys. Unfortunately, I need 2 more turns to beat this guy. To win this, because Roy is not in position. End turn here. Anybody need healing? Here, that'll work. Technically, with stabs, you can also just kind of like just waste turns to farm XP infinitely, which is part of the reason why XP is so low on healing. All right. We seize the throne. Alright guys, that is it for the night. I'm gonna hop off. I unfortunately cannot stay on very long on Tuesdays anymore. I'll plan to stream probably Friday night. No, I can't Friday night now. That is what that text was about. I can no longer stream Friday night. We'll stream Sunday night then. I'm gonna be home Sunday night. Probably. I don't know. We'll go with the Sunday night stream. How's that sound, guys? So, I'm calling it a night. We'll see you all around and be back for the next episode on Sunday night. Bye, everybody. Oh, wait. Wait. Okay, I can do Sunday night. Yes, I'm good for Sunday night. Can't do Tuesday night. And then I think Commander's going to be that Friday. That Saturday's probably a no. That Sunday's a maybe. So we'll go with that. I'm going to sign off. Stream again Sunday night. See y'all around. Bye.